All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing amazing. And if you're not, it's all right. Tomorrow shall be another good day. Okay. But I'm very, very upset. Like, I know that I just finished church and I was like, okay, God, please, please. And I know this is a very sacred rage because it is sacred. But you have to alchemize and transmute it in a certain way. This is why he fills up our cup so that we know what to do, what to say, guided by him. But I'm very upset. Like, I feel this country is disgraceful and no shame whatsoever that they have secret meetings, secret sales, real estate sales of locations that they are already buying land in an illegal occupation that right now is going through a genocide and ethnic cleansing. That displays all these people and they have the audacity to gaslight us for talking about this. This is another thing where it has to be like, that's how conditioned and programmed. And I'm glad that other Canadians are seeing right through this shit, because I feel like these people live in a bubble and they want them to like that. They want it to conform like that, because seeing the reality of it, it really will make your skin crawl, your morals and everything. Like, these people have no integrity whatsoever. They are legitimately, bluntly pathological liars and psychopathic criminals and Zionists running this country. Is disgusting.
I'm not a realtor, but I do know an exceptional investment opportunity when I see one. So on March 10th, New Jersey Synagogue, members only, is going to be hosting an Israeli real estate event. Oh my goodness, yes, we're going to have lots of snacks. Our fave, chocolate hummus.
Would you like to try some chocolate hummus?
Just insulted my grandmother.
Osiento.
You know what you're thinking. You're like, well, where are these homes exactly? Yep, settlement homes are going up for sale. And you know what? You're like, well, isn't there like a little bit of like conflict happening there? People are saying there's like a genocide. It doesn't matter, because once the army's done doing their job, I mean, the value of these properties, they're gonna skyrocket.
This could be you. Live the Israeli dream.
Can't end this video without giving a huge shout out to our sisters up north, the Canadians. Thank you, A. Oh, they're so cute. So the events are going to be happening all across the US and Canada at your local synagogue. It's going to be fantastic. I know what you're thinking. You know, these settlement areas, there's a lot of like watermelon spillage everywhere. We brought in like thousands of Indians, so they're working on cleaning it up. And then, you know what? The values are just going to skyrocket. It's going to be fantastic. You could probably keep the Indian as well. Yeah, sure. We'll throw him in.
My name is Rich Siegel. I'm Jewish. The reason that I'm telling you that I'm Jewish is because I have a concern about something that's going on in the Jewish community. On March 10th, there is scheduled to be an Israeli real estate sales event at the Torah synagogue. That event violates both domestic law and international law. Violates domestic law because we had a Civil Rights Act in 1965 and a Fair Housing Act in 1968. We don't allow real estate events to be for whites only, or Jews only, or anybody only. Now, as Jews, we don't get to fly under the radar and break the law and hide it in a synagogue. It violates international law because West Bank settlement homes are going to be available for sale at this real estate event. On the website, it lists 3 different West Bank settlements. Those settlements are in and of themselves illegal by international law.
This is the map published by The Guardian on the 30th of January, showing the extent of the destruction wreaked in Gaza by Israeli bombardment since the 7th of October last year. It's shocking enough in itself, but when you cross-reference it with other maps, you begin to get a sense of the way in which the conditions of life in Gaza have been systematically annihilated by Israeli forces. This is a map showing every residential building in Gaza before 7th of October. This is what was left as of the end of January, and of course the destruction continues across the territory, but particularly right now in Rafah. Here is a map of greenhouses in Gaza before the Israeli bombardment. Greenhouses are a lifeline for many Gazan families, providing greater and more secure access to healthy foods. This is what is left of those now, and of course without a functioning water supply, even most of these have been rendered unusable. Also, in terms of food security, here are Gaza's warehouses before the Israeli carpet bombing, and what's left. This is a map of tree crops in Gaza before the destruction began, including fruit trees and olive trees, which have provided food for residents and been among Gaza's major exports. This is what currently remains undamaged. This map shows all private schools, Palestinian Authority schools, UNRWA schools and universities running in Gaza before the 7th of October, and here are those that haven't yet been destroyed. None of these is of course currently able to function as such in any case. Here is a map of major health facilities in Gaza before Israeli forces began to attack them, including prenatal facilities, mental health facilities, clinics and hospitals. And here is what remains. All of this destruction would take many decades to restore, although of course it seems unlikely that those who built and grew all that has been pulverized by the Israeli bombardment will even be allowed to return to do so. One prominent feature of this map emerges when you subtract the destruction caused to built-up areas, which have been more or less annihilated. Here you can see a line of destruction stretching down through the center of the territory. This particular swathe of bombardment aligns with the so-called humanitarian corridor announced by Israel along Salah al-Din Street in November last year. When residents of Gaza City in the north were ordered to evacuate, they were promised safe passage along this street. However, many witnesses have described Salah al-Din Street as a corridor of death and humiliation. Civilian convoys and vehicles have been repeatedly bombed and targeted, and testimonies from dozens of witnesses collected in Gaza by journalist Tarek Hajjaj describe Palestinians having been summarily executed and killed by Israeli snipers, including children, their parents ordered by their murderers to abandon their bodies by the side of the road. According to the testimonies, people were made to crawl on their bellies through checkpoints, forced to undress and descend into pits filled with dead bodies, sometimes to be shot, sometimes to be released, among many other horrors. The street is littered with the bodies of men, women and children in various states of decomposition. There are millions of horror stories like these behind these simple red swatches, which delineate the annihilation of a people.
And I don't care what anybody says, oh, they didn't know. They know it's illegal. They know. This is what they do in a little synagogues. Again, masquerading as if they're Jewish when they're not Jewish. They only use the Jewish religion when it's convenient for them, when it's convenient for their capitalist, imperialist agenda, genocidal, maniac agenda. Fucking cowards. Why don't you fucking expose it? Your secret meetings. No, whatever's done in the dark is going to come to light. This is what they want people not to, this is part of the ritual. They don't want people to know that they're holding the secret meetings, selling land that is not even theirs. They're stealing land. And then they're killing the people so they can cover them shit up, so they can get away with it. These people think they're bigger than God. Can you believe this shit? Listen to me. It is vital that we speak up about this. It is vital that we don't stop talking about the flower massacre, which was bait. It was bait. Whoever came in, which obviously what they say that now they're putting, oh, it's Hamas that came in and what? Like, these people are psychos. And a lot of us, like, it's like all of us have to heal from all of this, but it's like these people, they think they're gonna get away with it. They're not. We have to continue talking about this because It is vital now. Their oppressors benefit from us silent and us being complicit and conforming to this shit. We should not be okay not only with just genocide, because they're trying to normalize it, ethnic cleansing, and it's just not. It's just not. Do not let them gaslight you and think it because they have money and power, which that's it. Honestly, being a Zionist should be a criminal offense. And people who are in government, politicians and stuff like that, if everybody knows they're Zionists or they're in meetings and cults and stuff like that, they should be taken out. Do not vote for these people. Do not fucking vote for Trudeau again. Do you understand me? These people, all of this, that chick, that snake one, all of them. Fucking liberal bullshit. They all fucking psychopath. Keep talking about it. But the guy today, he kept saying illegal, illegal. And I saw what he meant illegal. I'm like, absolutely it's illegal. But also keep saying that you're calling, a lot of y'all, you probably seen that from other prophets, other people. This type of work, humanitarian work, this calling, requires a lot of bravery and courage, which is the opposite of them. They're cowards. Why don't they expose it everywhere what they're doing? No, because they know that everybody's going to revolt. There's a reason why there's a revolution and there's marches today and yesterday for this shit. Because we're not okay with this. The power of the people, it's bigger and more than these asswipe freaking psychopaths. And they will never win. And they know it. So let's show them what we got. 12-12. In a peaceful way though. We're not like them. We're not like them. I have to try to find that video to show you like this crazy psycho, which please try to find this person, identify him, because he needs to be brought to justice. But not like them.
Hey you! Why are you doing that? You just shot that at me! Call the cops!
Call the cops! That's it, you got it. Fucking coward.
Call the cops! Call the cops!
Off the road! Off the road! Because you're on the road! We need you must be on the road! What are we doing? Child killer. My job is to get you off the road. Your job is to keep me safe. I'm trying to. There's a nail gun mark in my jacket. Off the road, sir. Get back on that side, guys. I got cars moving here. I got cars moving behind you. Nabil! Let's go! You need to go back on the sidewalk, please. Guys, you need to go.
When you say that we're anti-Semitic because we are against Zionism, and your reasoning is that most Jews are Zionists, so therefore if you're against Zionism, then you just hate Jews, that's really weak. Because Judaism is a religion that goes back thousands of years, and Zionism goes back hundreds of years. Judaism has clearly existed long before Zionism. The other thing is that when Zionism was first introduced, it was not popular amongst the Jewish community. It was seen as kind of fringe, and the majority of Jewish people in Europe were like, what? They want us to move to the Middle East? What? So Zionism has not always been the norm in the mainstream Jewish community. And when we look at why it's the norm, we need to understand that settler colonialism has pervaded every corner of this world that we're living in. And Western imperialism has not left a single community untouched. Okay, so what's happening in the Jewish community is just a microcosm of what's happening everywhere else, including the Arab world. I hate to even put it in those terms, the Muslim world, right? Why has Saudi become increasingly fundamentalist? Why has Iran become increasingly fundamentalist? Western
imperialism, folks.
Decolonization for Dummies Part 1. There are 4 types of people in this world. Useless leeches, puppet masters, and dummies who belong to the colonizers group and the decolonized mindsets. The problem is with the distribution of these 4 groups. You see, the dummies represent 90%. They are willingly manipulated by everything. I mean, in what fucking logic do you use when you see a human being unaliving himself? Then you have the useless leeches, aka the puppets. Things like Sleepy Joe, Slimy Richie, Satanyahu, they take the heat, but in reality they don't have real power. So the puppet masters are 1%. I once spoke to a banker at UBS. He told me there were 400 bank accounts with over $100 million each, belonging to people he had never heard of. Are low profile, their businesses are not advertised. Those are the people who control everything. People like the Rothschilds, who sold the country to God's chosen lunatics. Then you have the good people, like this guy. You know what's going on and you're trying to change it. But unfortunately, the 1% of puppet masters use the 4% useless leeches to prevent you from waking up the dummies.
There's peaceful way to protest, okay? Peaceful. Non-violent. That's not Christ-like, okay? Well, you know, what Aaron Bushnell did, that's some other holy divinity level. Not that I'm saying that everybody, you know what I'm saying, but we have to honor Aaron Bushnell. We have to. And this is how we do it. Cannot go in vain, right? Keep going.